Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing our lunch series with the Cafe Crochet booklet. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we are going to continue with our bento box. In the past videos, you saw me do the bento box, the octopus hot dog, the rice ball, and then these really cute edamame. Today we're going to be doing a hard-boiled egg. Yeah. So let us set this aside. We're going to go straight into it. So as you know, every video I'll go over new stitches at least 3 times step by step. And then I'll go through the instructions to see if there's any difficulty that might arise. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, the gear button in the corner there has a playback option to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear my squeaky voice today, you can just lower the volume on your device and click on the CC closed caption button. So remember, you guys, as in all my videos, these videos are just a supplement to the instructions. So if you would like to create these projects for yourself, I highly recommend getting the book. I got it off of Amazon. This was just a random find. I'm not affiliated with anyone from any of my kits. Usually these are mostly viewer requests. This one I got on my own because I wanted to make these cute little snacks for my goddaughter. Her birthday is coming up beginning of August, so eek, I only have, less than 2 weeks left. But I am intending on punching this out because I am going to send these out the Monday of the last week of July. Don't know when this is posting, so there is going to be trickle over into the next month, but I will try to fit in my viewer requests here and there. Once I'm complete with these videos that you'll see for this Crochet Cafe booklet, I'm going to go full on back to the list, and I'll be able to put out the kits that you want to see. Alright, let's get started. So we are going to be using yellow yarn, and as with the breakfast series, I chose the most yellowest yarn I could possibly find because once you start getting into the pasture raised organic eggs, you get the most yellowish yolks ever. So I only have like 2 yellows, so this is it. But this is very yellow. I mean, some of the good ones are like orange, but this is what I have. Alright, so let's get into this. We have to start a magic ring, so let me show you how to do that. You want to take a little piece of your yarn here from the end, and you want to wrap it around your finger 3 times with a little bit of overage like this, so that we can take the middle finger and just clamp it down. So now from here you can go and pull your strands tight, situate them as such, you know, keeping them apart. We're going to take the hook here and we're going to slip it underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this hook right back out, and we're going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that now, just like that. So from here we're going to yarn over, and yarning over is basically putting the yarn over the hook. So let's take the yarn and put it over the hook. So from here you want to pull this strand through this loop. Okay, and from here we're going to let go of the middle finger. We're going to slip the loops off of our index, and then we're going to start doing our single crochet stitches. So to do the single crochet stitch, I'm going to show you here. We are going to slip your hook into these loops. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So here we have a single crochet stitch. Alright, let's do this again. Stick your hook into the double loops here. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. Let's do this one more time with you guys. Into the loops, you want to yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have 3 single crochet stitches. So let me just show you the anatomy of our single crochet stitches. So each one has a braid on top of it. It consists of 1 loop, 2 loops. So when you put these next to each other, they form like a little braid. So it looks like a little French braid or a braid, whatever. Okay, let's turn it on our side. Usually you're holding your project like this, flat. These loops are now identified as the front row loops, and then these are the back row loops. Alright, so now you just have to complete the rest of the single crochet stitches that the instructions ask you to do. And then after that, I want to show you how to close your magic ring. So they call it a magic ring because you start off with a large hole to fit all your stitches, and then they call it magic because you can close it and then the hole disappears. So you want to grip your stitches at the bottom here. You want to grip it just a little strong enough to keep it stabilized. You have to be able to still pull this at the end of the day, so don't hold these too tight. Then what we're going to do is pull this piece out. We want to see which one of these 2 loops goes in first. Both of them have to disappear, but we're going to do one at a time. That makes it neater and cleaner. Alright, so let's pull this until you see a loop going into the magic loop, and then you're going to stop pulling. Alright, so I identified this back loop here, went in first, it's still there. What you want to do now is pull the lower half of that loop out. So don't pull from here, pull from down here. So take that loop that just went in, and we're going to pull the lower half out. And as you do that, you're going to see the other loop start to disappear into the magic loop, which is exactly what we want. And once you pull it to where it's gone entirely, then we're going to make this loop disappear. You might still have a little hole, that's okay, but we're going to pull the excess piece now, and we're going to watch this loop disappear like that. Alright, so from here you might still have a little hole. It's really tiny, but it's there. What you want to do is pull just a little bit more. So we want to pull in the opposite direction and up, and we're going to pull on it. Okay, and that hole is going to be completely gone. Alright, so now we're going to continue with the next round. What you're going to want to do though is that these instructions, by the way, the booklet encourages you to get markers. So you're going to need these markers, and I've collected all these markers from kits past. You always want to save all the items that you get into a kit because you never know when you're going to use them again. These, I guarantee you, they're going to be lifesavers. If you don't have them, go to a hobby shop or an online store, and you can get them in packs for a pretty decent price. So you want to take these little markers or safety pins. I guess if you don't have any, you can use safety pins, but these are plastic. These aren't going to poke your skin unless you really tried. But you want to stick it under the loops of the last stitch we made. So you want to go to the last stitch we made, and you want to slip the marker just underneath that braid, and you want to make sure you clear the yarn. You don't want to pierce it halfway. You want to make sure you're completely under that braid. I want to close this up, and this is going to indicate what row I'm on and what stitch count I'm on, because I know that the last stitch that I'm going to do for round 2 is going to be in this marker. If you didn't have it, you get lost in your stitches. You're never going to know where you started. So keep this in here, and then if you have to do multiple rows at the same time, you can remember this one is row 2 or round 2, and you just keep counting the markers to see how many rounds you did. Okay, and you know what? I didn't go over this because it totally slipped my mind, but the booklet calls out for 3.75 millimeter hook. This is a size E. This is a 3.5. I don't have a 3.75, so my project is going to come out a little smaller than yours. And also depending actually on the yarn too, because I have a thick yarn, maybe it'll come out even, who knows. Alright, so let's go into round 2, and I'm going to show you guys how to do an increasing stitch. So what you want to do is make sure you have the right number of stitches on here to identify where you put your hook, because after the first round it is a little difficult to find out where. So just count back how many stitches you're supposed to have, and we're going to stick in our hook at that stitch, and then I'm going to show you how to do an increasing stitch. So an increasing stitch basically is 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch. So we're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to stick our hook back into that same stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 single crochet stitches out of that one stitch. So let me show you this again. Stick your hook into the next stitch here. We're going to put 2 single crochet stitches in here. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Stick your hook back into that same stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So let's do this one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then into that same stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now what you want to do is just to complete the rest of the round. And then we can move on to round 3. Alright, so now that we're back to the marker, we can remove this, and I'm just going to replace it at the last stitch we made. So go to the last stitch you made, put it underneath the loops of that braid, clearing the yarn. You don't want to pierce it. Close this off, and we can start the next round. So for the next round, we're going to alternate single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. So that's pretty straightforward. The only thing that I have to remember is that we're switching to white. So what I'd like to do is not finish the last stitch so that I can start the white yarn and make a clean transition. I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so for now let's just alternate the single crochet stitches with the increasing stitches. Oh gosh. Alright, so I'm at my last stitch and it's an increasing stitch. So I'm just going to do the one single crochet stitch. I'm going to do the second one, but first what I want to do is set up my white. So I just want to pull this out, so that I can remove the hook. I pull it out so that I don't accidentally lose this stitch. It'll be a long time before I pull it all the way to the end. So that's a good safety net or security blanket you can practice. But now I'm going to grab my white and we're going to set it up for the transition. So what you want to do is take your ring, pinky, and thumb and pinch one end. Then you want to take your index and middle finger and just hold it a bit apart. So now we're going to take our hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. From here, we're going to go down, out, and around to get this loop around the hook to where you can slide it up and down, no problems. We're going to slide it down towards the thumb, take our middle finger and just place it where it crosses because we're going to let go of our left hand. Now what we're going to do is get some feeder yarn. Alright, we're going to re-pinch the end here, and then I'm going to take this opportunity to slide the hook further down close to the thumb, and then we're going to pinch it where it crosses so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. This is going to eliminate a lot of waste. I like doing it this way. Alright, so from here we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull this strand through this loop just like that, and then we're going to overhand the hook. I'm going to re-pinch this end. I don't want to lose that. We're going to push this knot closer to the left thumb. So keep pushing it down. The knot is going to get tighter and tighter, and you want to just push it down till you cannot push it any longer. Once you get to that point, you can take your thumb and middle finger and just pull this excess piece a little bit more, because you get that little bits that you can pull out to make your knot nice and snug. It doesn't have to be super tight. Alright, so now let's grab our knot. We're going to slide it towards the hook. And we're going to leave a little bit of room here actually, because we're going to slide this off of our hook and we're going to set this down. Don't lose it. We're going to come back to our project. You're going to slip the hook back into that large loop, and we're going to tighten it up with the feeder yarn. So once we're here, we can now complete our last stitch. It's the second single crochet stitch of our increasing stitch. So you want to stick your hook into the same stitch that we just used, and it should be where the marker is. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop so you have 2 loops onto your hook. Now you're going to set this feeder yarn aside. You can hold it with your ring and pinky, or just your ring, just like that. Just pull it back from this area here so we can have a nice clear view. We're going to take that white loop that we just made, and you're going to slip it onto the hook. You can hold it with your middle finger so that you can gather up some feeder yarn. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this white through the 2 yellow loops, just like that. So now we've completed our round. You can switch this marker to the last stitch we made, which is here. You can get up under that braid, make sure you clear it. We're going to close the marker. Now we're not going to go back to the yellow anymore, so I'm just going to let this go. You want to cut your yellow yarn, so I'm going to do that now. Maybe about 1 inch or so, enough so that you can tie a knot. So we want to secure this yellow. So I'm just going to take this other yellow from our magic loop, and I'm going to tie this twice. You know, not so tight. You don't want to pull anything. You just want enough to make a knot so that you don't lose any stitches. Okay. Then we can just set this aside for later. It'll be used as stuffing. But let's go back into our project now. We are now working with white. So for round 4, we're alternating again, single crochet stitches to increasing stitches. Alright, so let's do that now. I love this color contrast. It's definitely going to give me egg vibes. It's going to make me want an egg. It's making me want a bento box, to be honest. I used to make them for lunch just to switch it up sometimes. Oh, and I totally did the wrong count. Oh, just keep doing what you're doing. I just read the instructions and I didn't follow it. But we are alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. I just didn't count the right amount. So, good thing I caught that, because then I would have been like, what the heck is going on? But after each round, you can always go back and count the number of stitches before you continue on, just to make sure that you have the correct number of stitches that the booklet is telling you. And then so far so good. I've worked with kits where there's typos or they have incorrect counts. This booklet is fairly good. I actually like it. So the author, creator, whatever you want to call it, she did an excellent job. Alright, so from here, oh, I almost lost a marker. Flyaway marker. I'm going to remove this marker and I'm going to place this under the last stitch we made, clear the yarn, and we're going to move on to the next round. So this next round will build up the top of the egg. Alright, so I see what we're doing here. It's going to be real cool. So let's move on with that. Alright. For round 5, we have some new stitches. So let me gather up some yarn here first. A lot of yarn here first. Alright, so we're going to do some single crochet stitches, and then I'm going to show you how to do some half double crochet stitches. Alright, so to do a half double crochet stitch, what you need to do is do a yarn over. We're going to go into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over again. You're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay. So then we're going to do a double crochet stitch. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to yarn over into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop. So now that we have 3 single crochet stitches, we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through 2 loops, and then you're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet stitch. Let's do another one. So we're going to yarn over, Interesting. Okay, and we're going to go into the same stitch that we just used. So put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so now we're going to do another pair of double crochet stitches. So yarn over, we're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, and then into the same stitch we're going to put in our hook. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to do a triple crochet stitch. So what you're going to do is yarn over twice, once, twice. You're going to stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so let's do that again. Yarn over 2 times, once, 2, twice. We're going to stick our hook into the same stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. All right. So now that we did that, we're going to do another pair of triple crochet stitches. So yarn over twice, and into the next stitch we're going to put in our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do that again. So yarn over twice. Into that same stitch we're going to put in our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so now we're going to go back down to double crochet stitches. So yarn over, into the next stitch we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, again, yarn over, into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. All right, so let's do another pair of double crochet stitches. So yarn over, into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so we're going to do another one. Yarn over, into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So after this we're going to do a half double crochet stitch. So you want to yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we're going back to doing our single crochet stitches. Okay, we're going to remove our marker, and then put it at the last stitch we made. And we're going to move on to round 6. So for round 6, we're going to be doing back loops only. So let me show you what that is. So we have our stitches here, right? And they look like little French braids. So each stitch has 2 loops. You have your front loop here, and you have your back loop here. Front loop here, back loop here. Front loop here, back loop here, and so on. So what we're going to use is the back loops. So when we stick our hook into the loops, you don't stick it like we normally have under these 2. We're going to stick it in the back loop only. So you're going to have to split the braid and put your hook into the back loop like that. And then you're going to see the front loop just chilling out here by itself. So what we're going to do is single crochet stitches all in the back loop. So let me show you how to do that. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the back loop of the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch of the back loop, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So you see now these front loops get left alone. You're going to have this nice definitive line here of the edge of the egg. Your project's going to naturally want to bend this way, and that's what's going to add the dome part of the egg. So we're just going to continue on using the back loops, and then we'll do the next round or whatever it's saying here to do. All right, so went all the way around, and now it's saying to add the safety eyes. So I of course don't use the safety eyes. I'm gonna embroider, I'm gonna sew them in with embroidery floss. So let me just get that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is we have this hook that's just flopping everywhere. I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to pull it out long enough to make this huge loop. That way I can remove my hook and not worried about losing my stitch. It'll take a minute to pull all of this out. So if I don't notice that, there's something entirely wrong with me. But we're going to put the safety eyes now. And it's going to be between rounds 2 and 3. So we have 1, 2. So we're putting it in this area here. Okay. It looks like they have it. They don't specify how many stitches. But it looks like they have it coming across. So I'm just gonna stick this here. I'm gonna leave some tail to tie the yarn later, and then I'm just gonna go around 1 stitch to make the width of the eye. And of course I'm not a sewer, so we're just gonna hope for the best. But I'm gonna make several passes, enough to make the size eye that I'd like. You could just go ahead and use yarn because it's much thicker, but I'm going to use embroidery floss. That's what I have. Alright, so once I get the thickness, I guess, I'm going to go to the other side between rounds 2 and 3, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Oops. Okay, so once we're there, we got to do the mouth. So we're going to come up from this side here, and then I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to leave a little loop here, and I'm going to try to come up in the middle. Come up through the loop, and we're going to come back down into that same spot. Okay, so we got our permanent smile. Then I'm going to take that tail that we saved here, and we're going to tie it twice around the embroidery floss. Twice. Cut this off. Now, it says to do the cardboard, so you basically trace this egg shape on any piece of cardboard. You're not going to see it. You slip it here to flatten this down, because you want ideally to this egg, it's like you sliced an egg, so this needs to be flat and the rest can be a dome. However, I am giving this to my goddaughter, so I don't want any paper in here. I'm gonna wash, you know, I want this to be able to be washable. If you put cardboard, you might, you know, obviously the cardboard's gonna break down. If you have plastic, I guess that would be better, but I don't. So I'm just gonna move forward with the egg. If you want to do the cardboard, just pause the video and do your cardboard. I'm just gonna hope for the best with the stuffing. That's all I got. All right, but we're gonna move on to round 7. All right, so I am going to replace this marker under the last stitch we made. All right, so we have to do alternate single crochet stitches with an invisible decreasing stitch, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, and it doesn't say back loop or front loop only, so we're going back to putting our hook under the braid, under both loops. Okay. Now, an invisible decreasing stitch is basically taking 2 single crochet stitches and making it into one. And how you do that is you stick your hook from underneath up through the front loop only, like that. Then what you want to do is go into the next stitch front loop only. So we're going to go in between this braid and go through the front loop only. So we have these 2 loops here and this one back here. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both of these loops. So if this is difficult to do it this way, you can always turn your hook to go the other way. I'm going to just try to force it in this way. Okay, so now you have 2 loops left. You're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. All right, so let me show you how to do that again. Just hold on a sec. All right, so we're going to do invisible decreasing stitch. You want to go into the next stitch under through the front loop. You're going to split that braid and then into the next stitch, go through the front loop. You have your 2 loops here and this one right here. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both of these loops. All right, so you have 2 loops left, then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. All right, so we're going to do this one more time with you guys. Okay, so into the next stitch, put in your hook, go through the front loop only, then into the next stitch, go through the front loop only. So you have 2 loops here, one right here. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull through these 2 loops. So you have 2 loops left, then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. All right, you guys, so again, we're just going to be alternating our single crochet stitch with our invisible decreasing stitch. Interesting. All right, let me see. I'm just counting back my stitches. Seems like I have one left. Seems about right. Let me see. I don't know. I have one invisible decreasing stitch left, but I have 3 stitches. So I must have done an extra somewhere in the last row without knowing. So you could undo it. I mean, if this was you, which I hope not, but if this was you, you can undo the whole row and redo it. I'm just gonna skip one. I don't know what I did. Easy fix. But you know, if I wasn't on this time crunch, I might go back and try to find out where I did the extra. But remove this, put this in the last stitch we made. Okay. So now for the next row, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches. This one here is bothering the crud out of me. All right. So now what we're going to be doing is doing a single crochet stitch and alternating that with an invisible decreasing stitch. So let me get some of this yarn here. Alright, remove the marker, put it under the last stitch we've made. Alright, So let's alternate our single crochet stitches with our invisible decreasing stitches. All right. Now it says begin adding fiber fill and continue as you close the piece. So you have to get your own fiber fill. I bought 32 ounces of it. Here's a tiny portion of that 32 ounces. I'm gonna start filling this stuff in. And if you have the cardboard, you don't have to worry about it, but just gotta at least try that the first time she gets this thing, it looks like a flat egg in the front and then round in the back. What happens after they get it is beyond my control. All right. So I'm just going to keep adding this as we build our egg here. I'm going to remove the marker and put it under the last stitch we've made. Alright, so then for the next rounds we have to alternate again single crochet stitches with an invisible decreasing stitch. So when you move forward, try not to crochet into the fiber fill, because you're going to pull it out with the hook and then it's going to look messy. So what I try to do, actually, if you haven't noticed, I have my middle finger here just pushing the fiber fill away from where I'm trying to crochet, so that I can hopefully keep the fiber fill at bay inside the project and away from where I'm crocheting into. Right, I'm going to remove the marker, put it under the last stitch you made. Let's see, I don't know if we'll need another one, but let me just maybe put a little bit more. Alright, so for my last round, we're going to be doing invisible decreasing stitches. as it's getting tinier, it gets a little difficult to maneuver your crochet hook. Just try to keep your tension loose. I think that'll be a lifesaver, because too much tension is going to make your hand hurt. So when you're relaxed, it's like, you know, c'est la vie, and then your arm is, I mean your hand is not hurting as much. So alright, so I finished that, and it says to fasten off and leave a tail for closing the piece. Okay, so let me show you how to fasten off. So what we're going to do is you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the loop all the way out like that. So then from here you just want to pull on this end. You're going to tighten up that loop, and then we just have to hide this, we have to close it and then hide the piece. So I'm going to take my needle and to close this we're just going to weave in and out of the stitches. You can use the front and back loops as your guide. Try to avoid the fiber fill. Okay, and then once we're back to where we started, you can pull this tight, and then you just have to find a moment to tie a knot. Alright, and once you've tied your knot, you just have to hide this piece. So what I'm going to do is stick my needle into one end, and then arbitrarily, if you have cardboard here, you can't come out through here, so you can come out through the side like this at a random spot in your egg, and then pull the needle through. And I'm going to cut this kind of flush to the egg, and what we're going to do is squeeze it a bit to make that tail piece disappear. So this is what the egg is supposed to look like when you're done. It probably will look a lot more crisp if you have the cardboard in here, but I think it came out pretty flat and pretty round in the back. It's got its little smiley face. So let's pull out the rest of this bento. So far we have our bento box, the octopus hot dog, we have the rice bowl, we have the cute 3 little edamame, and then we can put in our egg, snug as a bug in a rug. Now, we're not done yet, there's a hole here. We're going to be doing next time the cherry tomatoes, and that's going to be it for the lunch series. So I'm kind of excited to get this along again. I have only a few more days. I'm going to binge film all of this stuff so that I can ship this out come Monday. Oof. But I do what I can. We'll see. I'm trying to get we have snacks after this, dinner and dessert, and you're gonna love it. If you have this book, I'll let you know that the snack is popcorn. For dinner, we are doing takeout, and then for dessert, we're going to be doing a pie. So, yeah, click that notification bell. You won't want to miss a thing. If you don't have this booklet yet, I do have the link in the description box below. It's on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with it. I just found this, and I thought it was the most cutest thing. It look like the cutest thing. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.